When it comes to AI, there seems to be two broad camps of thought. One is that it's pretty largely dumb and it's not going anywhere. There's nothing too much to worry about, and there's no point getting too carried away with what it can give us in the future. The other camp is that it has unlimited potential. I do sit in the second camp, and I hate to admit it because as a creative, as a musician and a producer, it's made me redundant in many ways. Maybe not exactly today, but who knows in 10, 15 years' time. One of the things I do think is quite interesting about it, and I can imagine this, so I'm a bit of a technologist. I've been an electronics engineer for years as well. So I'm coming from the angle of imagination and what can be achieved, and I'm coming from the angle of how electronics has changed, even in my short lifetime. So projecting AI into the future, and I don't know how far, I could imagine a scenario where if a gig was filmed, say, in the 1970s, let's pick a band, Deep Purple, right? And the whole gig was filmed and recorded. I think in the future with AI, you'll be able to attend that gig. You'll be able to walk around that gig. You'll be able to see it from every different angle. You'll be able to feel and sense like you're actually at that event at the time. That sounds fantastical, but I think it's more than likely to happen. I think in the future, there will be bands that are created, whether they're driven by humans or whether they're entirely AI generated, and you'll be able to be on stage with that band, walk around from different positions, look out onto the audience, hear the instruments as you get closer to the individual amplifiers, be in the audience, go backstage. It's almost unlimited in what you'll be able to do in that alternative virtual world. That sounds crazy and ridiculous. You can't say it can't happen, and I can't say it will happen. But wind ahead 50 years, I said I didn't know how long, but let's say 50 years, if AI extrapolates and grows to that point where it can do virtually anything, it's going to completely change the creative industry. How we create things today, whether we're musicians, producers, writers, film directors, actors, the whole lot will seem very antiquated when we look back. We'll be in a completely different world. And one thing's for sure, if that world comes about, if that happens, we can bemoan the loss of our skills and our human input as much as we like. But at the same time, the majority of us will be consumers in that world, and we wouldn't settle for anything less. It would be a bit like going to the cinema now and listening in surround sound and even in 3D, a 3D movie, which is completely enthralling and absorbs you, and you love the film. It's just incredible, and it's, wow, what an experience. And then say, yeah, but tomorrow night we're going to see a film. Let's go and see a silent walkie-talkie film with a little mono speaker at the, well, it wouldn't have a speaker, would it be? It would be silent, the piano player. It would be nice for a bit of nostalgia, not that you lived in that era, but I mean, would it give you the same entertainment value? Would you pay the same to go and have that experience as being in the latest sort of all-encompassing cinema environment? Would you do that? No, you wouldn't. You simply wouldn't. Sometimes we go to an old museum to look around old shops and garages, and a whole town could be built just for that nostalgic view of a glimpse into the past. But AI is going to take us into a space where we won't even have to do that. We could just, you imagine it, we'll be able to do it. And that really is at the heart of all entertainment. If you ask me, entertainment is all about firing up the imagination and taking you out of your humdrum, everyday, ordinary existence and giving you a few hours just to be entertained. Allow your imagination to run wild, just to enjoy the moment. That's all entertainment is. It's no more, no less.